It has been a long time since we've had a combination of nice weather, me feeling okay, and a day off of work. So we are going to take advantage of it. We're on our way out to Drumheller. Now, this is an area we have been to many times, but we're going out there today with a specific purpose, and that's to collect a record album. Say what? That seems interesting. Let's go check it out. Now, like I said in the intro, we're on our way to Drumheller. It's about 90 minutes, 2 hours to get out there. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch the entire drive out there, but just kind of sit back and get a feel for the changing landscape as we head out. So we've made it to Drumheller. We're just going to stop and grab some cash here because we need to be able to pay cash for this record album that we're purchasing. And we're going to swing over to Whiff's, which is one of our favorite restaurants here in town, and grab some breakfast. So it's been a good trip so far. Partially cloudy, partly overcast, but weather's nice. It's not snowing. It's not cold. It's a great day to be out in the Badlands. Oh man, that is fantastic looking.
So I wanted to show you guys the reason that we decided to come out to the Badlands today, and here it is, a rare album by Bob Hoy and the Badlanders. And you may ask why we drove almost 2 hours to come by this. It's because we were kind of enamored with the National Film Board movie called Every Saturday Night, which you can find on YouTube, and Dan will post a link in the description. And it's about this band in particular, but just kind of the feel of the 70s, that this band and other bands like them would go around to the small farming communities every Saturday night and host dances for the residents in the community halls. And we visited several of the towns in the Badlands that are featured in the movie, as well as our dear and now unfortunately deceased friend Jim Pearson actually makes a cameo appearance in as a child. So when I saw this record at an antique store in Wayne, I think it was last summer, I remembered. And now that we actually have a record player, I contacted the wonderful owner of the Frontier Market, Kathleen, and said, hey, do you still have the record? And she said, I think so, but I need to check. My shop is actually snowed in at the moment. So wonderful Kathleen went to check, and she said, yep, I do have it, if you guys can come out, or she even offered to ship it to us. But we took the opportunity to drive over and have breakfast at Whiff's. Shout out to Whiff's, we love you, in Drumheller, and get this record. Can't wait to listen to it tonight.
Well, since it's time to start heading back towards home, I figured we may as well make a stop here in this little valley. Not exactly sure what it's called, but it's a pretty well-known location amongst abandoned places type people. So there's some old cars, a couple old buildings, and I believe further down the valley there's an old railway bridge. We'll probably take the drone out and try and get down there just because there's so much mud and snow here right now. You can kind of see behind me the truck on the road. We didn't want to come too far in here so we didn't get stuck. So let's go see what we find. All right, so this is it. You can kind of get an overview of it here. And if you look down there, there's the train bridge. It's actually not as far as I thought, so we might be able to walk down there. This pathway, there's tracks and things here, so it's not nearly as deep in terms of snow and mud right here along the old rail bed as I thought it might be. Been here in the summer before. I don't recall ever coming in here in the winter. This looks like an old garage. So if I've got my history right, I think this used to be an old section house from the railway. It's now, of course, has collapsed in on itself, but used to be quite the place, I guess.
Whiny.
I don't know, you want to hold them? So let's go take a look at some of these cars. Inside this one, you can see there, this is, I don't know if you can see it, the odometers. Indeed. Now, of course, exploring places like this in the winter provides some advantages and disadvantages. I mean, the nice thing is, here in the winter, we don't need to worry about snakes or things of that nature. The downside, of course, is we can't see where we're walking, and there's obviously, nails and boards and things like that. So it's kind of a mixed bag as to what's good or not for exploring in this type of situation. But you can see these cars, various states of repair, and have obviously been, shot at and things over the years, but they're still in remarkably good condition, and they're very photogenic. It's a beautiful spot out here. Getting a look at this one. Hopefully, anybody out there who knows more about cars than I do, which is probably all of you, might be able to help identify some of the years or models of some of these. They're quite interesting vehicles. Of course, I never can look at an old car without wondering what kind of stories it could tell. Like, undoubtedly this one here, and back in its day, served, probably a lot of family vacations and whatnot. There's probably a lot of great memories tied up in that car for somebody, but all of that's lost to the ages now. Alright, well, before we leave the area here, let's see if we can take a walk down towards this old railway bridge and check that out. It's not too bad. There's some muddy sections, but it's still mostly frozen. Oh, there we go. Figured we might run into one of these along here. Trespassing on railway property is illegal. Oh, this is Canadian National. I might have said Canadian Pacific or something earlier, but yeah, so technically we're not really allowed to go any further. We're probably not even allowed to be where we are, but this is the first time we've seen the sign, so I guess we'll turn around from here. Okay, well, we're almost back at the truck. I think we'll throw the drone up in the air and get some shots of this place from up top and see what that looks like. And we'll get back on the highway and head towards home. Appreciate you coming along and enjoying the trip with us today. It's been good to get back out of the house and on the road. It's been a long, long time, it seems like, since we've had a chance to get out and do anything. So, thank you very much. See you later.